why I'm interested just as a historian, we've had a lot of problems here in Pennsylvania, especially in the past couple months. There was a situation, the Pennsylvania Historical Museum Commission, who essentially run the state museum sites. You have private museums and you have state museums and you have like the National Park Service. The PHMC made a statement that all sites they own were no longer allowed to do face-on-face combat. What that means is you couldn't do a battle reenactment. You couldn't do your living
Why?
history demonstrations.
Oh, brother.
Those are important. Why?
Yeah.
This isn't New York has also had problems. Many states do over gun safety reasons, but New York, you probably figure out why they're doing that. And also some of these sites, they were insisting you had to get in and you had to, because a lot of Pennsylvania history involves Native Americans. That's who was here before the Europeans arrived. And a lot of these battles pitched Europeans against Native Americans. Well, a lot of these reenactments, there were very few indigenous people portraying the natives. But the people that were portraying the native, they did the research. These guys were doing it for 30 years to properly.
They want to change history and they want to change historical reenactment to modern day bullshit.
So the problem was the PHMC went in there and told these sites too. They're like, you can't do face-on-face combat, and you also got to consult with an indigenous agency in order to do your reenactments for it. But my problem was, these indigenous agencies,
they're turning historical reenactments into fictional reenactments.
The indigenous agencies that they were listing, at least how I interpreted, maybe I'm wrong, they were coming off nothing more than political lobbyist groups. You don't want politics. You don't want a politician trying to tell history. That is not going to end well. Why are you trading the historian who studied 30 years about these people they're representing and trade him for a politician? Over the color of their skin?
Because they want control.
Yep. I remember a couple years ago, because I believe that the wokesters, they suffer heavily from what do they call it? Basically accusing you of everything they're doing. I forget the exact terminology. It's not combined, but they're going to accuse you of doing everything they're doing, and they're going to openly suggest and state everything that they're going to do. And one of the first things that they said, and this is their battle cry, is everything is political. And what have they done? They have invaded politics into every nook and cranny, so that way they can try to control it by dismantling the populace and taking over essentially the key figurehead positions within separate cultural pillars throughout society. And now they're trying to do it to history so they can rewrite the past.
I kid you not. One morning, I was at I do Civil War reenacting whenever I have free time. We portray a Union regiment. It was early morning. We're near a major highway, and we're just getting up. I am talking 6, foggy. This guy pulls up in his car, like, pulls right up to the tents, gets out, and shouts at us, "Get over it! You lost the war!"
Oh, God.
He didn't even...
Wait,
we were
you're Union.
Yes.
No, dumbass. We won. Get over it. You're stupid.
We said something similar to the lines of, "We're federals." But my point and
why does everybody automatically assume a Civil War reenactor is from the South and that's it?
Exactly, that's the problem.
See, the issue with this is also a lot of Northerners and a lot of people who really are not there at those actual fucking battlefields that they were on both, all over our country. They have so much assumptions about that war that it's ridiculous.
Not to mention, studying Robert E. Lee, even though, yes, he was Confederate, he was one of the best military minds in history.
Yeah.
Not only that, I always point this out.
Everybody, North and South.
Historically speaking, back then, the way I pointed out is like everybody was a Texan, as in everybody looked at their state like it was the best state on earth. There was no way that a statesman, regardless what side of their fight was on, that they were going to go against their own state.
Well, I'd like to point out a modern day European that's been stating kind of the same thing. There's don't remember exactly his YouTube channel, but it's something like Estonian soldier or something like that, and he goes through a bunch of different videos on different things and does reaction stuff to them and things. But he's like, why would people do that? And I'm like, well, because you're fighting for your state. Like you say that you are for your state of Estonia. That's basically what they were doing.
Exactly. It would have been a gigantic moral betrayal of your own heart.
Yeah.
It's all, I've come to the conclusion, this stuff is not disconnected. This is all one the same. How I'm seeing it in the history field, how people are negatively reacting
Everywhere.
to living historians, it's all tied into our culture is sick. It's in a decay.
Yes.
But I do believe we are going to have a renaissance. I do believe that. Because
We're
I
on our way
believe the
there.
tide is already turning.
Or our country's downfall. The downfall to every civilization has been the loss of their history and their culture. That is why, if you look at every civilization, they always tend to target the culture. You invade a country, best way to demoralize them, get rid of their identity. You want to weaken their infrastructure, start at the core beliefs. And what is at the core beliefs? The very culture itself, the home, the family, and the culture.
They want us to start off with them making us ashamed to even be American. We had to be the apologetic nation because we were the nation of sin. All sin across the world is all our fault.
Yeah, no.
And
that became generations ago.
Ashamed of our skin colors. They are purposely putting in segregation after years of fighting it, and now they're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, well,
and they're saying it's
Irish, so no, thank you.
and they're trying to tell us it's all for the sake of tolerance.
I'm sorry, European immigrants had it pretty bad too, but nobody
they don't
talks
know
about
that.
that.
That goes back to the ignorance.
The Irish.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The Irish.
And that's why I brought it up. Is about half my background is Irish, and the thing is, we came over during the potato famine. And so more than likely that meant that we were what is it?
Migrant or not migrant workers, those ones who were forced to work off their debts.
Slaves. Basically slaves.
Indentured servants.
Indentured servants. That was a lot of my family history.
And then they replaced them with black slaves because the Irish, I believe, wouldn't stop dying of local diseases.
Yeah, my family had to ditch Spain because they practiced Judaism, and this little Inquisition thing started, and they pissed off some politicians and decided, maybe we should go.
But
fun fact, that's technically, or actually very much a reason why the Pilgrims came to the America. It was for religious freedom.
Yeah, like Bernier says, there was racism against Germans. Hell, there was concentration camps in the west of Japanese.
Look at how the Russians and the Polish used to treat each other way back.
I hate to admit it, our history is based on that kind of stuff. But if we don't study it and just cover it up, it's gonna happen again.